Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel once again. I am glad to greet you today with this piece of news that maybe by now you already know about because this is something that has been flying around recently. And it is because Rich Johnston from Bleeding Cool has reported that apparently Marvel have lost the rights to Conan the Barbarian. And if this is true, it is good news. I think that it is good news, not because I want to see Marvel crumble down to the floor, but because they had Jason Aaron in charge of this. The same Jason Aaron that brought us the God Butcher, but also she Thor, aka Jane Foster. So, as you can very well imagine, this is an uneven guy, and he has proven it with his writing in Conan. If you remember the first 12 issues that are the first year of the character of the comic book when Marvel got back the license, well, it was a complete waste of time with that overarching there. Screen Run is also reporting on this, saying that Marvel could be losing the rights to a major character. And I think that the key word here is could, because there is really no confirmation coming from either Marvel or Jason Aaron or Esad Ribic, who is the artist behind the work that we see in the Conan comic books. And I think that even he recently published the cover to the newest Conan Exodus comic book issue. And I think that we still need to wait and see if there is any confirmation from any of these places as to what is going to happen with the character. And Rich Johnston might be a little overzealous here with his report, because even Screen Rant says, quote, Marvel Comics has reportedly lost the rights to Conan the Barbarian, which, if true, means they lose a key character before a brand new series, that being Savage Avengers, and they are going with what Rich Johnston has reported, but treating it with a grain of salt. Now, Johnston says that he came across this information via a Facebook report or a Facebook page, and allegedly this coming from a fan that is well placed to know some information and to get some scoops or something like that. And he has said that Esad Ribic's artwork seems to be the last thing that we will ever see from Conan Exodus, I think, or King Conan. So he apparently did some digging over there at the Lake Como convention, and he seems to have confirmation that in fact Conan Conan Entertainment International, I think that's the complete name of the company. They want Conan back because they want to produce their own comic books and they don't want to license the character anymore. Now, where this all looks a little bit fishy is with Rich Johnston saying that while the US license to Conan the Barbarian is moving from Marvel, they will still be able to produce collections, compilations, paperbacks, and hardcovers and all that with what they have created. While that might not be entirely false, it still gives me a little bit of mistrust for what might really be happening here, because I think that if they are going to move forward with this, the company that actually owns Conan the Barbarian will want to have full control, and they wouldn't want to be competing with something as huge as, for instance, Marvel. And I know that their comic books have been falling down every single month, and you see it there in the top sales. They are nowhere to be seen, that's for sure. But still, Marvel would be bigger than any other independent comic creator, and if I remember correctly, also, the company is based in Europe, where, as far as I know, the character is already in the public domain, even though not yet in the United States, and it was created originally in the United States, more precisely in Texas. But still, if that is true, I think that they would want to try to appeal to the American market and then not so much to the European market, which is already having lots of comic book versions and lots of stories with Conan the Cimmerian and other things that, not to infringe any copyright laws or whatever. They are spinning it and twisting it a little bit so that you can enjoy those and there is no risk of any copyright claims or any other thing of such nature. So whether this is true or not is yet to be seen. But what I can tell you is that it might prove to be beneficial for the character. It might prove to be good for the company, of course, because they will have full control of what is happening with the character, sure. But also because I am confident that this might also mean that they will be moving forward with a series or maybe even a movie. And I'm saying this because for those of you who are huge Conan fans or who are familiar with the character, maybe you already know by now that Amazon had something of first dibs in a Conan series after it was going to be developed, I think, for Netflix. And they dropped it because it was just, too toxic, too masculine. And the company now, which the site Boundary into Comics says is Tencent, well, they reportedly are recalling Conan the Barbarian license from Marvel, and they, with also the capacity of making video games, because they also bought recently Funcom, I think it was, the video game company that they got. Well, they have a lot of opportunities to make videos, to make video games, to make TV shows, to make movies. They have the whole show for themselves. And that also means that we could have a Conan that is more accurate to what Robert E. Howard wrote about the character, about the stories and about this world, but also that we can have it free from all that propaganda, from all that toxicity that sometimes is spreading around the entertainment. And I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, your mileage may vary. But what I'm saying is that in order to stick to the nature of the character, what the author had intended for it in the first place and all that, you really do need to pay attention to how Robert E. Howard wrote the character. And this is a uber alpha male, and it appeals to a lot of boys, of course. It is a work of sword and sorcery, so you can expect a lot of that there. And I, for one, really want to see this take place. It is a good opportunity then. And not because Marvel were going to hold back or because Marvel were super woke with the character, of course not. But like I told you also, there were some inconsistencies there. So I think that this is beneficial for everyone that is involved in this. And with these new opportunities, we will have to wait and see what happens. As for now, let's look for confirmation and let's see if Marvel say anything about this and where we go from here. Until we know anything else, I think that we should cut the report here and be vigilant of what is going to come later on. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you next time.